Hi guys, welcome back to the channel for another video. So today I am with the Renault Triber that's sitting right behind me, and special thanks to Renault Jorhat for allowing me to shoot this video. If you are from Jorhat and if you want to go for any Renault product or even this Triber, then the showroom details will be given in the description below. Also you can see right now running in the screen. So moving forward and talking about the Triber, it's one of the cheapest 7-seater car that's currently available in India, and its price starts from around 5.54 lakhs and goes up to 7.54 lakhs, something like that, which I will talk in details. So the best thing about the car is its safety rating. Even though it's made like considering price cutting or cost cutting and as such stuff, the global NCAP safety rating that the car scored is a very good 4-star. So today I'll give you the tour of the Renault Triber and also give the drive impression. So before even starting, if you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also press the bell notification icon to get notified every single time I upload a new video to this channel. And don't forget to share and like this video, and also keep watching the video till the end. With that said, let's now get started. So like always, starting with the key, here is the key that you will get with the Renault Triber. This is the top spec RXZ variant. So with this you will get this smart card type key. This key you have also seen in the Renault Kiger. So fairly a very simple key. One side a big Renault logo, other side there are 4 buttons: unlock button, lock button, dedicated button for like follow me headlight, and also a dedicated button for unlocking the tailgate of this car. So moving forward, this is the front fascia of the car. This is the pre-facelift model. So Renault has updated the facelift or given or added few more features with the Renault Triber. So mostly these are visual changes. There are some more functional changes, like now the facelift model comes with dual horn, which sounds good. This particular car is the pre-facelift model, so it gets only single horn, but now you will get a facelift model obviously, and you will also get to see DRLs in the bumper section there and there. So both side DRLs will be there. Every single thing or every other lights in this car is actually halogen. There is no LED. The headlight setup here gets projector type element for the like lower beam, and the higher beam is like normal reflector type setup. Obviously this is the indicator, and the light throw is good, actually not that bad, because it gets projector type setup for the lower beam. And yeah, smoked out treatment is given in the light. The facelift model also gets the same treatment. The only change or added feature that you will get to see is here the blank part in the facelift model comes with LED DRL, and every other thing like the tail lights, headlights, even the indicators are all halogen, not LED. So this is the grille, chrome and black color treatment is given. Big Renault logo is there. There is no parking sensor obviously in the front bumper, and yeah, mesh type grille is there. Some silver element is there, which is obviously plastic, like skid plating is done. And yeah, this car is made like considering cost cutting and all those sorts of stuff, so don't expect much from this car, but the safety rating of the car is really very good, and also the weight of the car is really very good. So interior spacing in this car is much more better even than the Renault Duster that's sitting right there. So the panels in this car, you don't have to expect much, but the chassis has been made really very good. It's very stiff. The driving experience of the car is also very good. Obviously not in terms of engine performance. The engine I will talk in a bit. It is the same 1-liter engine that you get to see in the Kwid. Even with the facelift model, everything is similar. So moving to the side profile, this is the side profile of the car. Obviously Renault Triber is space for everything. Branding is done, and the facelift model change have also been made to the side, like the side indicators from the wheel arches here have been moved to the ORVM, which is a very good feature. And obviously the roof rails are there. There is no shark fin antenna even with the facelift model, and now with the facelift model you will get like dual tone treatment for the roof. So black color roof is also available with the facelift model. This is the top spec RXZ variant. The pre-facelift model, this one didn't get a dual tone treatment. Now it comes with dual tone treatment. Obviously side skirts or the wheel arches, the wheel arches get like plastic type material is there, like cladding. Side skirt, there is no cladding, and obviously this thing is not cladding. This is actually stickering. This is actually paper. And the wheels one of the good thing about the Renault Triber wheels is that this particular model came with 14-inch wheels, and the tire section is, where is the tire section? The tire section is 165/80 R14, but with the facelift model, Renault has updated or increased the tire size to like 165/80 R15, and the thickness has also been increased a little bit. And one very clever design element in the wheels are that these wheels are not actually alloy wheels, but the way the wheel cap is designed, it seems to be alloy, but no, these are not alloy wheels. This is actually wheel cap, as you can see. The interior there is like steel rim, obviously tubeless tire, and front gets ventilated disc, rear gets drum, ABS EBD is standard. This car also comes in terms of safety like 4 airbags, like 2 passenger airbags, driver and passenger co-driver airbag, and also there is side curtain type airbags. And yeah, talking about the dimension of the Renault Triber, the Renault Triber is 3990 mm in length, in like total length, so it's under 4 meters, and the width is 1739 mm. So you can see how wide the car is. The width is 1739 mm. The height of the car is 1643 mm, and obviously the wheelbase of the car, the wheelbase is 2436 mm. Even then, the interior spacing is really very good. The ground clearance is respectable 182 mm, and the boot space is 625 liters. Obviously, if the third row seat is up, then the boot space is very bad, but with the third row seat folded, and if you use the car as a 5-seater, then the boot space is really very good. The fuel tank capacity is 40 liters, and this is the fuel filler cap here. The fuel filler cap is obviously not magnetically holding. In this price segment you won't get such things. This is spring operated, and to access it you have to access it from the driver's side door there. And yeah, that's everything on the side profile. Obviously the window section, as you can see, is really very big, so people inside this car won't feel claustrophobic. The interior spacing is really done very nicely in this car. So this car is all about cost cutting and the interior spacing. Dual tone interior treatment is given, so people won't feel claustrophobic. The cabin feels airy, and it's really very good on the inside, but the materials as expected and in this price segment is not that great. So talking about the Renault Triber variants, it's available in 4 variants: RXE, RXL, RXT and RXZ, and all the variants get the same engine option, a sole 1 liter 3-cylinder naturally aspirated petrol engine. I wish Renault offered the 1 liter turbo petrol engine, but it's not there even with the facelift model. And yeah, the prices starts at 5.54 lakhs for the base RXE variant and goes up to 7.35 lakh for the top spec RXG, like the top spec RXZ variant, that is 7.35 lakhs, and you have to pay extra 17,000 for the dual tone like variant. And now moving to the rear profile of the car, this is the rear profile of the car. Obviously lots of badging are done, Renault badging there, then Triber badging is obviously done, 3D badging, which really looks nice and premium. Renault badging again, then Energy badging is done there. So the lights, the tail lights again, wraparound type treatment is given, but these are all halogen, nothing is LED in this car. And yeah, rear windshield washer wiper is there, high stop mount brake light which is LED, obviously good. Then yeah, defogger type element is there, twin adjustable headrest as you can see on the third row seat, which I will be showing you in a bit. And the bumper is not body colored, it's actually black color type material. And yeah, 3 parking sensors are there. Obviously there is the reverse parking camera, which doesn't get adaptive guidelines. At this price segment you cannot expect all those things. And yeah, here is some more silver like finishing is given, which is, this is not skid plating, like this is only for aesthetic reason, and all those sorts of things are given. So this is the exhaust here. The tire is placed under there, which is obviously again steel rim, because the wheels on which the car runs are steel, so how can you expect alloy wheel for the spare wheel? So now talking about the boot of this car, let's now unlock it and look at the boot space of this car. So the car is, I guess, locked, and yeah, let's unlock it and look at the boot space of the car. So that's how you have to unlock it. There is a request button here, and obviously twin struts are there. This is not very heavy, it's very light, so pulling it up is not that bad. And yeah, this is the boot space. Like when you fold up the third row seat, the boot space is, you cannot like put in suitcase and all those sorts of stuff, like small duffel bags and all those things are okay, but not that great with 7-seater car. This will be always the problem. So yeah, this is how you can like increase the boot space. So now the boot space will increase like 625 liters. Obviously you can remove these seats completely and keep it at your home. So the boot space now increases to 625 liters, which is obviously really very good. 3-point type seat belts are given in the third row seat, and again twin headrests are there which are adjustable. Really very nice feature. Some more hooks and all those sorts of things are there here. There is no light, obviously you don't need it because that light will there cover it. And yeah, 12-volt socket is also there. Some spaces are there obviously. So let's close the boot and show you more, like take you to the interior. So to this side again everything is similar. The roof rails are obviously plastic, which doesn't seems like functional. Quarter glass is there here. So step up roof is given. So the headroom in the third row seat is really very good. Considering some more expensive car, it's really very good, but the materials feel little bit cheap because yeah, come on, this car is like cost cutting has been done. So these are flimsy. Obviously the door sill from this side I cannot see. To the other side the window sill is there, as you can see here. So it's there. So this is the test drive car. So it goes into lots of abuse, like different people's drive or something like that, but even then the quality is really maintained very nicely. The door handles also looks nice and premium. And one of the good thing about the having smart key is that even though you don't get like sensors, request sensors in the doors, once you get closer to this car, the doors will open or unlock like automatically. I will show you. Let me lock the car. So the car is locked now, and once I take the key I won't be pressing anything. So here you can see the doors unlocked by itself. So let's now talk about the rear interior seating. So talking first about the doors open wide enough. You can see how big the window section area is, because the car, like the wheelbase of the car is around 2636 mm, so the doors are big enough. So ingress and egress of the car is really very good. Obviously soft touch type material is here, and yeah, everything hard plastic. The door panels are hard plastic, obviously scratchy type material. Dual tone treatment is given, black and beige color like type of treatment is given. This here is fabric. Obviously this is the window button, and this here seems to be like old school lock and unlock button. Satin finish given in the door handle. Obviously all these things are similar also on the facelift model. Speaker is placed there. Large door pockets are there. 1 liter bottle can be easily holded there. So I've already folded the second row seat. Let me show you again how to fold it. So yeah, this seat is like fabric upholstery is given obviously, and the ingress egress, because the door like opening is wide enough, ingress egress will be good. So fabric seat upholstery. The seats are really very comfortable. Cushioning is done nicely, but these are prone to like getting really very dirty, and yeah, it will attract very lots of dust. So this seat gets reclining function, and also there is like sliding function in this seat. And yeah, to go into the third row seating, you have to like pull this knob here and then fold it like this. So you can see how easily I can come to the third row seating. And yeah, I'm not like doing any paid promos or something like that, but whenever I talk about 7-seater car, the third row seating for me is always very disappointing, but not in this car considering the price of this car. So let's now pull the seat up and show you the legroom and all those sorts of stuff. So obviously this section here, if you are wearing shoes, your legroom will be not that great, but it's adjustable because you can like put your legs differently. And yeah, now look at the knee room. Scooped out seat back is there in the second row also. The knee room is good. The under thigh support is not that great. Obviously 7-seater cars don't have good under thigh support, but the knee room is really very good. My height is around 5'5", so kids and even adults can easily like sit in this seat, because the third row seat is, or sorry, the second row seat is actually like sliding adjustment is there. So even The headroom is also great. As you can see, the headroom really very good headroom. Adjustable headrest are there, 3-point seat belts are there, 12-volt socket is also there. So in terms of interior spacing and seating, the Triber is really very good. Also window section, the quarter glass are big enough so you won't feel claustrophobic. Obviously there is like blower control here, and the control is to the center console there for like a blower flow and all those sorts of stuff. So the headliner is like roof is scooped out, so the headroom in the third row seating is good. For the first time I'm saying that in a 7-seater car. Obviously same here. So little bit of cost cutting is done, so the locks and all those sorts of things have like wasted out. And obviously these seats are 50-50 split seat, and you can keep this seat at home. Obviously told you that the interior liner is of decent quality, not that great, not that bad, it's of decent quality. So let's now move to the second row seat and show you like more. So to going to the second row seat, you have to obviously fold this seat and then again fold it back. Obviously this seat also get sliding adjustment, so you can see ingress degress is really very good. Flat bottom type like floor is there for the rear or second row seating, and obviously the under thigh support of the seat is really very good. The legroom really very great legroom, lots of knee room. Obviously scooped out seat is there, pocket is also there, fabric type material, and the seats are really laid back very nicely. And yeah, adjustable type headrest is also there for like both the passengers. The middle passenger doesn't get adjustable headrest. The disappointing thing is that there is no armrest, but yeah, considering the price, not that bad. And no, isofix style seat mounts are not there, but yeah, 3-point type seat belts are there for both the passengers, like side passengers. And obviously the seat, both the seat or the second row seat get reclining function, so lots of knee room and leg room will be there in this seat. This particular seat also gets reclining function. As you can see, you have to pull it here, so lots of space, leg space is there for the second row passengers. Headroom, you don't have to like think about it, 6-footers and above will be comfortable here. Even though the car is compact, the interior spacing is really very nice. Obviously the blower or the AC vents are there in the B pillar here, which is really a very nice placement. There is nothing in the middle section here, no AC vents, but yeah, obviously there is a 12-volt socket here, really very good. This is the blower control actually, and yeah, speaker and all those sorts of things are there to this side, and all these things I've already shown you, like the soft touch material in the door panels there. So that's the front interior of the car. Obviously with the facelift model, the only new thing that you will get to see in the Triber is steering mounted control on the interior. Everything else is kind of similar, like the materials used, everything else is similar. So let's move to the front, to that seat there, and talk more in details about the Triber like front. So again, the doors open wide enough, and yeah, hard plastic again. Obviously dual tone treatment is given, soft touch material is there. Auto function is there for the driver side window, like auto up function, not auto down function. This is for controlling the outside ORVM, like electronic control is there. Like all power window is there, and piano black finishing, everything else is there. So the one of other changes that has been made by Renault to the new Renault Triber is that now the top spec variant, the RXZ variant, comes with height adjustable driver side seat, which is really very good. Obviously SRS airbag is there in this car, like total 4 airbags is there. So the safety rating, as I've already told you, is 4-star global NCAP safety rating. And yeah, these are the pedal situation for the manual car. There is no dead pedal, could have been given, but it's not there. Nothing much to say considering the price of the car. And yeah, this is for accessing the fuel filler cap, and here is the knob for the like the headlight leveler switch. So here is the knob for headlight leveler switch, and obviously the bonnet opening knob is down under there. The steering also gets tilt adjustability, and now with the facelift model it also gets steering mounted controls like volume control, multimedia control, all those sorts of things. So let's now get inside and talk more in details about the Triber's front interior. So this is the dashboard design of the Renault Triber. Obviously this is the pre-facelift model. The facelift model also gets the same sort of treatment, and before even talking, lots of hard plastic. And yeah, this is the kind of digital instrument console. I'll talk about it more in a bit. And obviously SRS airbag there, little bit of satin finishing done around the center part here, and yeah, black and beige treatment is given. Obviously this is the top spec model, little bit more improvement could have been done. Even with the facelift model, everything is similar. There is little bit of panel gaps here and there, but normal people won't be looking at it. And yeah, everything is functional in this car. It's all about interior spacing and functionality, practicality, and nothing much gimmicks are there. So this variant, like the Duster you have seen, gets like two cubby holder. One is there are two glove box. Actually there is another glove box which also gets cool functionality. And yeah, there is also sunglass holder here, and it's deep enough, wide enough, usable, not that bad, it's practical. And now this is the 8-inch infotainment screen that I will talk in a bit. Then talking about now the seating comfort, the front seat in the facelift model, also the driver seat, as I've already told you, also comes with 6-way adjustability. Like there is also height adjustability now with the new Triber. And obviously side curtain airbags are there here in the seats. There is no adjustable seat belt nor with the new facelift model. And obviously the driver side seat belts get pre-tensioner and preloader type thing for the new facelift Triber. And yeah, talking about the sunshades, mirror is there in this variant. There is also ticket holder, and there to the other side there is also mirror, but there is no light placement. And obviously these sunshades can also be detached, but there is a large section here left out, so not much of an use when used like this. Same situation here, it can also be detached, but again area left out. So grab handle is there for all the passengers, not for the driver, which I forgot to show you. So grab handle there even on the third row seat, second row seat, it's there. And now talking about the mirror, the inside rear view mirror gets a manual dimming function. There is no auto dimming function. The light, the dome lights are actually halogen. There is no like LED lights in this car. And obviously this is the mic here. The rear passengers also get dome light there, which is not actually LED, which I obviously forgot to show you. The front seats, the driver and co-driver seat doesn't get adjustable headrest. Could have been given, but it's not there. Obviously these seats are tall, so okay. And yeah, now talking about more features about the dashboard, obviously 4 AC vents are there. 2 AC vents are on these sides, 2 middle AC vents are there. And yeah, the blower is also, or the AC also works nicely in like nowadays in this car. Obviously piano black finishing is done around the 8-inch infotainment screen. This is the 8-inch screen, and this screen is good actually in terms of like features, because it gets both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Obviously wide connectivity is there, and the best thing about the screen is that Renault has actually provided a knob for controlling the volume. And the screen resolution is also good, the visibility is good. The camera might not do like justice, like lots of reflection glare is showing, but actually in like bright sunlight condition, even though I'm right now sitting in bright sunlight condition, practically it's really very good like in real life. And obviously voice command is there. Now with the facelift model, all this like controlling the media and voice command, everything, single thing is placed in the steering here. So steering mounted control you will get with the new Triber with the facelift model. And we'll talk about the steering in a bit. Obviously it gets tilt functionality. So coming to the infotainment screen here, obviously you get park assist. So let's put the car into reverse gear and see. So here you can see the reverse camera. Obviously the resolution is not that great, but it's usable sometimes, but don't just rely it. And obviously there is parking sensors here. So here you can see the resolution is not get great like of the camera in bright sunlight condition. There are guidelines, but these are not adaptive obviously. So let's put it into neutral. And yeah, so there are other functions in this infotainment screen. So drive, eco, all those sorts of things are there, which are kind of useless actually, because it shows the acceleration, all those sorts of stuff. And yeah, media is there, Bluetooth is there in this car. So yeah, lots of other controls are there. So this is the hazard light control, this is the defogger control, obviously gets rear defogger, and this is the central locking button here, as you can see. So lots of features are actually exchanged with like Renault exchanges with or shares with Nissan products, so most of the things are kind of you will get to see similar. So these are the AC controls, which are not that great actually. These are like the feedback is not that great. It's some very tough sometimes, like kind of tight, and also sometimes it's very flimsy, as you can see. So cost cutting has been done in this car, so nothing much more to say. Obviously there is no auto AC could have been given. Some other cars in this price segment gets auto AC, and there is like lots of cubby holder here for like keeping your phone. Obviously no wireless charger is not given. This is the start stop button here, which is really clearly visible. No, this only gets null finishing, it doesn't glows. And down under there more like storage space is there, and you can also see like a USB and also aux. This USB will use to connect your phone to the infotainment screen here for accessing Google Maps or like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And yeah, this is the gear knob here. Obviously the reverse gear is to the situation here, you have to pull a knob. So for first time users it might be a little bit of problem. So twin cup holders are there, which are really very small. I don't think it will be much of an use, but yeah, it's there. Manual handbrake. Obviously this is the blower control for the rear AC vents in the roof mounts, and also on the side AC vents in the B pillar there. So there is also storage space here. There is no like center armrest, and it also gets cool functionality, as you can see here. So really very nice cool functional storage space on the center console is there, but a armrest could have been better. Like lots of things are given in this car, right? So a armrest, what they could have been given. So yeah, let's now move to the screen and give you the sound check. Let me just first connect my phone, and then I will show or talk more in details about the instrument console, steering, and then we'll go for the drive impression of this car. So let's now listen to the music or the music system, speaker system in this car. So volume control knob is in the with the screen here, which is really very good feature. But with the facelift model, Renault has also added volume mounted control in the steering wheel, which I've already told you. So let's now listen to it. So that's how the music system in this car sounds. It's not that bad, it's good, it's decent. Considering the price of this car, the speakers are given really very nicely. I think it's similar to the Renault Duster, and the Renault Duster video, if you haven't seen, then it's somewhere in the pop-up button there, go check it out obviously after watching this video. So let's now move to the steering wheel and talk more in details about the steering. So this here is the steering wheel of the Renault Triber. Obviously big Renault logo is there, and yeah, it gets a single horn with the pre-facelift model, which doesn't sound good. But with the newer facelift model, there are dual horn, which sounds really very nice. Obviously satin type finishing is there, 3-spoke steering wheel, and with the facelift model also gets, again I'm saying, steering mounted control. This steering wheel also gets tilt adjustability, as you can see, tilt adjustment is there. And yeah, everything else is really very simple. Headlight control to the right side, windshield control or the washer wiper control to the left side. There is no auto headlight or rain sensing washer wiper in this car. And yeah, the windshield washer wiper also works really very nicely. There is large amount of spray on offer, as you can see. It works really very nicely, large area is covered, so not much of a problem. And yeah, this is to the headlight control. And moving forward to the instrument console, this here is the instrument console of the Renault Triber. It's really visible very nicely. Obviously this is not actually digital, neither like not fully digital, it's digital, yeah. Like the center portion here, there is the MID, to the right side there is the RPM, and here is the heat meter, and obviously there is the fuel meter. So these are actually like types of elements, like LED elements that actually glows up, like how it's calibrated. So let me just turn on the car and show you like how the RPM actually rises. So here you can see how the RPM actually rises. Obviously 1 liter engine, so lots of vibration, and here you can see the RPM how it rises. So the LED elements actually glows here, and yeah, obviously to the center portion here you will see the speedometer, and obviously lots of other information are shown, like trip details, trip A, trip B, fuel used. So every sort of things are there. Average it's showing 7.8 kilometer per liter. So the fuel efficiency in this car is not the very strong point. And talking about more things, like there are lots of other telltale lights are there, and yeah, this is the button here to control the MID here. Obviously large Renault like badging is done here or written here, and Renault badging obviously in the steering wheel. So lots of things in this car are actually practical, functional, and yeah, that's everything I have to say about the interior. Let's now open the hood and talk a little bit about the engine, then I will give you the drive impression of the car and end this video. So here is the engine bay of the Renault Triber. Obviously you can see insulation on the hood itself. There is also insulation on the firewall there, so the engine heat and noise doesn't go inside. But the NVH level in this car is not that great, because considering the price of the car, it's okay, it's decent. And yeah, the hood is not that very heavy, it's on the lighter side. Obviously single strut is there. Talking about the engine now, this is the 1 liter 3-cylinder naturally aspirated petrol engine that has been brought from the Renault Kwid, and also it powers the Renault Kiger. It also is shared with the Datsun Radigo. So the Radigo video is also in my channel, you can check it out there. So talking about the engine like numbers, in paper it makes 72 horsepower and 96 newton meters of torque. Looking at the size of the car, Renault could have introduced with the facelift model the 1 liter turbo petrol engine, but it's not there. And yeah, in terms of gearbox option, this engine comes mated with both 5-speed manual and an AMT. So AMT option is also available now with the facelift model with the Renault Triber. So yeah, ABS, EBD is there. There is no ESP in this car. The ABS motor is there somewhere there. So that's everything on the interior, exterior and engine details of this car. Let's just go for the drive impression, and then I will tell you more about the Renault Triber, like how it feels out on the road. So right now driving the Renault Triber RXZ variant. This is the top spec variant, but this one is the pre-facelift model. The engine, chassis, brakes and every sort of mechanicals in the facelift model is also similar, so nothing much of a difference. The only changes on the interior is that with the facelift model, Renault has given the height adjustability in the driver's side seat, so with that you get more commanding view. Even then in this car the view was really very good from the driver's seat, and obviously the steering response of the car is really very good. The chassis is on the stiffer side, so the steering response, there is not much body roll that can be felt, and the steering also thick. It also gets tilt adjustability, so it's not that bad. And obviously this particular car, the pre-facelift model, came with 14-inch wheels. The new car or the facelift model of the Triber comes with 15-inch wheels, so the ground clearance and all those sorts of things will be much more better. The driving will be much more better. The suspensions, the front suspensions are tuned on the softer side, and the rear suspension is tuned little bit on the harder side, because it's a 7-seater car, right? So once there is full, like the car is loaded with all 7 person and the luggage is given, then the rear suspensions will perform much better. But other than that, overall the suspension quality is good. In terms of visibility, the visibility and the viewing angles are nice. Obviously the A-pillar is a bit on the thicker side, so there will be a little bit of blind spot area, but not for like experienced driver. Newer people might have little bit of issue. The inside rear view mirror also offers nice viewing angles. The outside rear view mirrors also offers nice viewing angles. Then the steering response is also good. It waits up nicely when you pick up speed, and obviously the NVH levels of the car, considering the price, is decent. I won't say it's great, and there is nothing much to complain. The panels are on the harder side. The interior panels like dashboard and all, everything is hard plastic, but the quality is not that bad. It's good. It's not flimsy, and maneuvering the car is also not very bad. it feels compact. It's not that like on the bigger side. And yeah, the 1 liter engine with 5 people, because it's a naturally aspirated engine, it is very much good with 5 people. It pulls nicely. There is not much of a lag that you can feel, but above 3000 rpm is when the engine actually feels really nice to drive. And with 7 people and full luggage, there might be little bit of like you might feel a little bit of lack of power. Now talking about the clutch, it's little bit on the harder side, I have to say, but yeah, nothing much to complain considering the price of this car. The braking is really very good in this car. This is one of the plus point, and obviously because of the chassis, it's so stiff, like considering the car, the driving ergonomics is really very good. The steering response is quick, and yeah, obviously the safety rating of the car is also very great. It's 4-star global NCAP safety rated car. So in terms of safety, considering the price, it's not that bad. And around bad patches, you won't feel very much, as the suspensions are tuned fairly very nicely. It's not that bad. Obviously around bad patches you won't feel much of the bumps, but yeah, the NVH level is on the decent side. I won't say it's really very great, because on when the car goes through bumps, yeah, you can feel little bit of vibration inside, and yeah, it's obviously decent. You can't complain, like taking the considering the price of the car, you can't complain much about the car. So lots of bigger potholes here. And talking about now the U-turns and all those sort of thing in this car, taking U-turn, even though the car is a bit on the longer side, obviously it's under 4 meters, so taking U-turn is not of a bigger issue in this car. It's fairly easy to take U-turns in this car, and yeah, that's how easily you can take U-turns. So this car is mostly about practicality, like you can take lots of people, obviously 7 people you can take, and in terms of that, it's really very good. Lots of practical things are like given by Renault in this car. And the engine, yeah, it doesn't feel underpowered when you will be carrying like 5 people, but 7 people with lots of luggage, you might like feel a little bit power is lacking. Renault could have given the 1 liter turbo petrol engine that it currently provides with the with the Kiger actually, and then the driving will be much more better. But even then, every single thing in this car is good considering the price, and yeah, it's a much safer car, even like bigger cars, considering the MPV section like Maruti Suzuki Ertiga, it's much safer than that. So talking about city driving condition, the car doesn't feel much wide enough. It's compact, it's good, the steering response is also nice. So overall it's a very decent car to drive even in city condition, and all like carrying 4 or 5 people or even 7 people, you can do short distances. The fuel economy in the city condition will not be that much great because the engine is on the smaller side. So should you buy it or not? So the buying a car is totally upon you. You cannot like look all those reviews and opinions that we YouTubers give and then go for buying a car. Like, go to the showroom details is already given in the description below. If you are from Jorhat, go to the showroom, take a test drive and think about or see what's your requirement. Like you want a practical car. If you want a practical car, you have a little bit of bigger family, or you want to carry lots of things with you, then it's a much better car. It looks great. Obviously looks are always again subjective, and in terms of driving also it's great. The fuel economy will also be decent, like around 13-14 average fuel economy the Triber will offer. So yeah, that's what I have to say about buying the Triber. Everything else is decent, I have to say. You cannot expect much considering the price. It's under 9 lakh, so what more can you expect from a company A? It's already like Renault is already providing lots of features with these cars, like good practical features. Nothing much is gimmicks are there in this car. So that's everything on the Renault Triber RXZ variant. If you are watching the video till now, make sure you like the video and also subscribe to my channel and press the bell notification icon to get notified every single time time I upload a new video to this channel. That's it for today. Bye.